You got to understand, two young men facing 10, 15 years in prison, you do the calculation, man, just imagine the amount of money I just saved in the organization on your taxpayer dollars, that you ain't got to fund this young man's bed and prison bed and all this other stuff.
Yeah, what's happening, man? Welcome to expediTIously. I'm your host, Tip T.I. Harris, man. What we do here is have conversations that are meant to push the culture and the generation forward, and we have them with people who are relevant to the discussion. My guest today is Mr. Gary L. Davis. He is the founder of the Next Level Boys Academy and executive director of Next Level Empowerment Center, both innovative mentoring organizations for boys and young adult men ages 5 to 25, which is much needed in our community. Mr. Davis has mentored more than 1,000 young men and families through his various programs within the organizations. In addition to mentoring and running his nonprofit full-time, Mr. Davis also is a philanthropist and a motivational speaker. He has received numerous awards and accolades, like being featured in Ebony Magazine, recipient of 2 proclamations, and Male Influence of the Year and Nonprofit of the Year awards in 2018. Mr. Davis is a graduate of Troy State University and is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. He recently self-published his first book entitled Raising Him Without Him. Welcome to the show, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Right on, man. I want to get into it with you about the Next Level Boys Academy, like where the, the inspiration for that and the concept came from. But also with us, you know what I'm saying, we have, these are 2 of your, should we call them mentees?
That's a good name for it.
Okay, these are 2 of, so this is the product of the Next Level Boys
Yes,
Academy.
sir, absolutely.
All right. This is Jamiron. So you 24, right?
Yes,
and you from Decatur.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in a part of the Next Level Boys Academy?
I actually was inducted into the Next Level Boys Academy back in 2017, but unfortunately I had to go do a small prison bid. So I've been actively with the program for going on almost over a year now since my release.
Okay, how much time you do?
35 months, 3 years.
For what?
Armed robbery.
Okay. And was the Next Level Boys Academy, was that a part of the sentence?
Yeah, that was part of my plea arrangement.
Okay.
They actually diverted 7 of my years to the
Okay.
Next Level Boys Academy program. Instead of doing 10, I did 3.
So they gave you like a downward departure and placed you in the care of the Next Level Boys Academy because they've seen your work and they depending on you to turn these next 7 years more prosperous.
Absolutely.
Under your care and tutelage rather than him being in prison.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's a phenomenal idea, man. Who thought of that, man? Kudos to the
I did, man.
You thought of this.
I thought of this.
But who made them take the credit like it was their idea though?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because those diversion programs are far and few in between, and with mass incarceration and all of the things that plague our communities right now, like we need, more installations like this to make a difference in people's lives. What you doing now, Jamar?
I'm actually seeking employment. I mean, I'm really just trying to get back on my feet right now, trying to get back reacclimate into society.
Right on, but what's your area? What area would you like to work in? What's your passion?
I cook. My passion is to cook.
Okay.
That's my passion, but right now I'm really just trying to see what God say, what the wind blow me right now. But my passion is cooking.
Okay, all right. And we also had Jamari Russell. Now you're a little wetter behind the ears, man. How old you here?
I'm 16.
You 16. How did you become introduced to Mr. Davis here in the Next Level Boys Academy?
I had caught my charges, and then during my case I had to report, well, not report to him, but you can say that. I had to report to him for my probation.
Yeah.
Because it was a part of my probation, and if I didn't do it, then I get locked up. But then, like, so I did that one. I don't know how to say it.
What you trying to say?
I'm talking. I did like when I came to the program. I came so I wouldn't get locked up.
Right.
I started actually liking the program. So it ain't even all about not even getting.
So you here on your own right now, not because you're being made to be here, is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, dope. Well, Mr. David, man, like what brought about the idea to do a program like this?
Man, just like everybody else, man, every time I turn on the news, bro, black and brown boys dying and going to prison. So right. I said, you know what? let me do something unique, man. So I just proposed a diversion program to the courts and say, hey, listen, there's a lot of good young men getting caught in bad decisions.
Right.
Let us get an opportunity to do life skills, social skills, and anger management. So I pitched it to the courts, man, and they went with it. We're probably diverting a little over 100 years a week of prison time. And most of our young men in the program, armed robbery, aggravated assault, carjacking, hijacking, burglary. So sometimes, Tip, I look beyond the charges, man, because I know.
You have to.
And you know as well as I know, man, sometimes, we get in the rut.
That's right.
And we have to do what we think is best, man, which is most of the time the wrong thing to do.
And we become susceptible to our circumstances.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how many years has it been now?
11 years.
11 years. So
11
for
years.
11 years, you've been saving people 100 years a week.
Yes, sir. For 11 years. A good 11 years.
So tell me about the program. Like, what does it consist of? Like, how does it begin? How does one find themselves eligible to participate in the program? And like, do you have to have a charge? Can you walk in off the street and just enroll yourself or volunteer yourself? How does it work?
No, most of it, the diversion program, you have to have a charge. But when the lawyer or the DA reach out, they'll let me know what the young man is. So here's the things I measure by. Do you have any current charges? Now, if you're just out there living reckless, man, I'm not really going to rock with that, bro.
Right.
But if you somebody, man, such as these guys, they had maybe 1 or 2 charges. Their ages made a difference. And I interview them. Everybody has to be interviewed before they come into the program. So I interview them. They come into the program. And once they get in there, they have to commit to a year. We meet every Wednesday night, every Saturday, the Saturday class that you came to.
Right.
We do life skills, social skills, anger management, conflict resolution, job readiness.
Right.
We're creating scholarships, and a lot of our young men are now in college.
Okay, dope.
So they was dropped out, man, got their GED, so they're now in college.
Man, that's amazing, bro. As you just mentioned, I became aware of the program because I came and spoke. Y'all asked me to come speak one Saturday. Was you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Asked me to come speak one Saturday, man, and I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? It's not often that us as, I guess we can call it the old heads, you know what I'm saying? That we get an opportunity to have like a room full of the young reckless. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to deal with the bad ones, you know what I'm saying? Because that energy is, they really just fighting against a machine, a system that they feel something wrong and it ain't right, so they not gonna follow behind it. They're not gonna succumb to the rules of it because they know it's unjust.
Right.
So they rebelling against something internally that they feeling they probably can't articulate it. But I understand that energy because that's the kind of energy I had when I was young. You dig what I'm saying? It just y'all trying to force me to do a bunch of shit that I don't feel like that's for me.
Right.
And y'all keep trying to force me in it. Right. I'm gonna keep bucking back until y'all see one of us got to make the other one think this shit makes some sense. Or else we gonna continue to have that back and forth.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, man, that when most of these brothers come in there, I already know, they've been in some shit, man. They've been in some shit and just lost. So what I try to do is just catch them where they at, man. Most of the time, that's at the age of 8, 9 years old.
Right.
And just catch them up to life, man. But I think black and brown boys, man, they respect consistency more than anything, man. And we showing up, bro.
Right.
I mean, consistently for 11 years.
That's real.
We've never missed a Saturday.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, tell me how did Next Level Boys Academy, like, what was it when you first came in, mandated by your probation officer to be there? What was it that you experienced that made you say, man, I want to keep coming back here?
Well, it all started with Gary himself. You fit. He a good he a good person. He know how to handle people. He know he can take if you got going through a bad time, he a good person to talk to.
Yeah.
Like if I got a bad time, I'll talk to him, or I'll go to my a mentor of mine, Ralph. I go to him.
Right.
But yeah,
and that's important.
But what really caught my eyes is that I seen that he really cared. He really care about all the black people.
Yeah.
It just ain't the one that's a part of his program. It's everybody. It's everybody in general. But some stuff it just he'll do stuff for you, but you gotta do something in return. You feel?
Yeah.
Like you can't I don't know. The program.
But that's life, man. Life is give and
The
take.
program, it's a good program. I was staying program forever if I could.
Right. Well, one day you're gonna be running the motherfucker if you stay around long enough.
Right.
But ain't nothing wrong with that because you know what I'm saying. It's structured.
Right.
And I think that's what, you know, a lot of times in our lives as young black men, like that's what our people are missing more than anything, structure and consistency.
This on program I really connected with.
Right. So what's the activities like?
Man, just staying in their ear, man. You know, with these young men, they got they got multiple distractions, man. So you got to be consistent. The only way you can overpower a bad influence is with a whole lot of positive influences. Mm-hmm. So staying in their ear, man, and get them what they need, not what they want.
Right.
And try to get them ahead and thinking like, you know what, man, I'm going to do what Next Level Boys Academy expects me to do, and not what they want me to do.
Right.
So, man, life skills, man. Most of these young men are just missing life skills. What we was talking about earlier, man. If you just give them a life skills, black and brown boys are unique, man. They are born gifted.
Right.
So sometimes that's not trained, coached, and conditioned,
right.
And it just go to waste, man. So we just try to get them to maximize on their talent, bro.
Yeah. And so what was your experience like? But you came out of prison, right?
Yeah, level 5.
Right.
So it was basically, I mean, I was reluctant to go because I really was not ready to deal with a bunch of people, like especially at one place. So, I mean, I came in and it's just like, cause it's not just Mr. Dave, it's a whole group of mentors. Mm-hmm. So even what he can't be there for you at, it's somebody who can pick up that slack.
Right.
And it's just like all successful black men that's like legit, and like that's somebody I really ain't never seen, just growing up like somebody who's successful the right way.
Right.
And that really drew me in because it's like I could have kept doing what I was doing to get in prison, but like the whole time in prison, I'm telling myself, I ain't doing that again. I ain't doing it again. Then like when I first got out, I really found myself in I won't say dark place, but I really was lost.
Right.
Because like I ain't really know. Like, I had all this built up anger on. I ain't know who I was mad at, and it's like I was just throwing back into the world because they released me with $25, just in 35 months of just all type of bullshit. So coming into the Next Level Boys Academy, it opened my eyes to like, wow, bro, you bigger than just your situation right now.
Right.
And like that's what he really instilled in me. Like when I first came in, he like, man, you gonna be big, just stick with me.
Right.
And like just seeing all that love and this genuine love, it ain't no. See, Mr. Davis, he do a lot of background work. It like he gets accolades on social media and all that, but it's a lot of long days and courtrooms that a lot of people don't get to see, like that he do.
Right.
So I really respected that, and like his genuine love for black, like he say, black and brown boys. Like he ain't just one person who said and then you don't hear from him. Like he consistent.
Let me ask you this. I know this might be a wild left field, crazy question. But how many white boys you get coming in this?
Man, I don't. I always ask that question, bro. To answer your question, none.
None. 0 in 11 years.
Right, but let me just say this, man. I often wonder, because I go to Rice Street a lot, man, to interview. I've never seen a white boy in there their age. And I always ask on Saturdays, man, where the hell do white boys go to jail? I don't know where they go to jail, man, because shit, I go in there. But listen, man, I go in the back and teach the same shit in the back of the room. Since you want to open this shit up, Tip, let's open it up. So, and I'm sitting here looking, I'm asking these boys, like, man, where are the white boys? I know these young white boys this age wilding out, man. I know it, but I don't know. I think I've never seen them in court. I'm in court every day, man. Every day before the pandemic. Now I'm virtual. Mm-hmm. So part of my job, my everyday job, is to be in court advocating for these boys, man. Don't send them to prison.
Right.
I have never seen a white boy in court between the age of 17 to 23.
Damn.
Now I do. Now I just got my first. Tomorrow I have my first Hispanic to start the group.
What?
Yeah, but he just Hispanic. He that dude though.
Took you 11 years.
11 years, but I've never had anybody call me to ask about a white boy.
Okay.
There ain't no white boys on my Instagram page either, Tip. so maybe I need to get a little white face, man.
I'm just wondering, man, because
they don't go to jail,
Fulton
man.
County is big.
Man,
Fulton County is huge.
Buckhead
is in Fulton County. Roswell is in Fulton County. Like, it's not just like, we're not just talking about our communities, it's crime and burglaries and car theft and, you know, all kinds of other shit, aggravated assaults and all kinds of shit going on out there as well.
Right.
So I'm just wondering, so they must not need no help.
Man, they ain't going to jail, man. They're not, and they don't come to court. Their lawyers come, man. Listen, man.
They don't come to court.
Man, listen to me, man. I saw this shit because I was thinking, like, you know, I stick to my purpose, man. That's black boys. I don't get caught up in all this other shit. I just let them folks have this,
right?
You know. But one thing I can say, I have never seen one at the Fulton County Jail. Neither have I seen a judge or a DA reading a plea deal or anything to a white boy. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Maybe it happened on them days I'm not in court. That shit ain't happened when I was in there, man. I've never seen it. Did you see a lot of them when you was, how long were you in Wright Street?
I know you a lot with some white boy, right?
I was in Wright Street 16 months. And it wasn't no white boys now.
I mean, I done seen them passing through there though.
They don't make it upstairs. White boys don't make it upstairs.
They might, you know, but no, I think that, because a lot of things, there's a racial divide, but there's also an economic and a social divide as
Absolutely.
Well. So it's some white boy that stay in some parts of you know, East Point, and
right,
Hateville, and, you know, other places out there where we probably ain't, you know, as frequent. And they going through shit because they don't necessarily have no structure down, and they end up in prison. I don't know if they bypass the county jail, but they ain't down the road.
But it has to be something to do. Listen to me, man. If they go to prison, that means there are no more options.
Well, listen. We not finna argue something that's obvious. Only who disputes facts, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have an astronomical advantage in this area.
Right.
But I was just asking, it was just, you know what I'm saying, it piqued my interest to know how.
But let me just say this though, Tip, a disclaimer, man. We do not discriminate.
Of course you would.
So, you know, we accept all of them, but unfortunately we have not got any calls from anybody who's the opposite race of an African-American male.
Damn. I hate to say, let's see how we can get more white boys.
Absolutely not. We're good.
You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you, what is the commonality of the underlying issues that you find in most of your mentees, the young men that come through your program?
Man, just lack of fathers, lack of male role models. I don't think these two young men here with me today, when I interviewed them, man, they've never had a male role model.
Granddaddy, uncle?
I ain't never had no male role model.
What you mean? Like, so you grew up, it was just you and your mama?
Yo, me and my mama, I had a stepdad, but he wasn't like, he on, like, they I don't want to tell my mama's story.
I get it.
I mean, it was me, my mom, and my brothers, but the older man that was in my life, I looked at them like almost equals. They ain't really have nothing to show to me. So like, it wasn't no looking up role model figure type thing.
I mean, man, nobody can make it out here trying to figure shit out on your own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you born in a box, no matter how big that box is,
right?
If you born in a box and ain't nobody told you how to get out of that motherfucker, you gonna continue to just goddamn trial and error your way
right
to some success.
Right.
And I feel like that's what most of the young black men out here are doing. Because aside from the journey of the American dream, you know what I mean? Public school, high school, go to college, get some debt, get you a job, barely work your way out of debt until you die, until you retire, where you promise Social Security and retirement and end up dying figuring out that shit ain't real.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's really the American dream. That's what they really got there pump from kindergarten. That's what they pumping into it.
Right.
You
know what, man,
I mean?
when you came to the class, man, you said something I'll never forget, man. You talked about the way education is structured. It's structured where people can go somewhere and work for somebody for 8 years.
Absolutely.
And you know,
also it's structured to kill the confidence of young black boys.
I believe that. I remember you said that too.
Yeah, it's structured like that. What I feel like the public school system is there to do. It's there every day. Everything you feel like is right that you want to do for yourself is ask. You need to put it in the paper, write it on the paper, and hand it to me, and let me go and ask somebody else.
Yeah.
And then, man, fuck all that, I'm finna go right here.
You're right.
Come on, bro. That ain't the way innovation happens.
Right.
That ain't the way evolution happens. You have, as you just mentioned, enormously gifted and talented intelligent, just exceptionally mentally gifted people that are in the public school that have all kinds of talent. Here you were asking me about, punctuation and shit when I know how to get rid of petroleum. I can make a car run on water in my mind, and here you are trying to get me to focus on punctuation.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
That shit don't make no sense.
Right.
No, we don't want you to figure that out. We want you to come work for us at our petroleum company, so we can continue to pump petroleum, and you will work for us. Never mind all the brilliant ideas you have. Let's shelf that, because that'll never happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I feel like that's what school does, which is why most motherfuckers like me, I dropped out. I told I don't know if I told the story, and I think it was 10th grade. Well, I was in the 9th grade homeroom, but I was taking 10th grade class. I didn't get all my credit. Okay, so I failed every class except for algebra, language arts, and that's it. I got like a 92 and like a 89 or some shit in those two classes. Failed everything else. I got called to the principal office, right? So he said, son, you clearly have the capacity to do the work. Why is it that you won't apply yourself? I said, well, yeah, I can do the work. That ain't no problem, man. But see, this is the thing. You got a building full of kids who come here for y'all to tell them what they should be doing. I already know what I'm gonna be doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the parts that you have to offer that benefit me and what my intentions is, and I'm gonna leave the rest to y'all. He said, get out my office. Get out my office. And I mean, cause I love math, you know what I'm saying? So I feel fractions, percentages, you know what I mean? Multiplication, division, just plugging numbers. I always counted that the money, so it helped me.
Right.
And then with the language arts, I had a teacher named Miss Pearson, and she kind of appealed to my interest in poetry and my interest in music, and showed me how expanding my vocabulary could make me a better artist.
Okay.
So I was engaged right there. But aside from them two classes, man, fuck the rest of this. You know what I mean?
What grade you quit?
That year. That was the year.
I don't think he in school. You quit, right? Or you got kicked out?
I got kicked out of school, and then when I got locked up, since I was locked up for a long time, I couldn't go back to regular school, so I gotta go to Job Corps.
Oh, you can just get your GED.
Yeah. I gotta get it's either my GED or my high school diploma doing Job Corps.
I get the GED because it ain't
That's what I'm doing.
Because you can't even graduate. You don't even walk no more.
No.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to get my GED.
Yeah, Jake, I got mine in the joint. You know what I mean? I graduated out of high school in the joint.
Wow.
But I think that high school is really there, or not high school, but school period. What I feel the function or the benefit of school is to show a person how to discipline yourself, prioritize your life, and overcome adversity daily. You know what I mean?
Right.
To get from where you are to where you want to be. That's the necessary thing. All the shit they teaching in the classrooms and the grade letters and shit. Yeah. But really it's about, I don't like this class, but I need to pass this class. How in the hell am I going to get in here and pass without, allowing myself to be overly frustrated by the person teaching the class? That's a tool that you're going to have to use somewhere else in the world. Like I see all the time young cats, especially y'all age, like, man, no, man, this a sucker, man. That's a fuck nigga, man. That lame, man, nigga, I don't want to be around. I ain't going to do. Listen, bro, from what you have in your pocket right now to 150 million, who you seen do it without dealing with no suckers and fuck niggas? So obviously it's a way to deal with them to accomplish what you need to accomplish and continue to move on and get on. So if dealing with a fuck nigga is what's separating you from 150 million, you just gonna stop right there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what school is for. To show you how to bypass and create contingencies for yourself. Life is a series of adjustments. When you stop adjusting, you start dying. You know what I mean? This shit is constantly evolving. It's a constant evolution. Which makes what we're going through as far as what led to you, you know what I'm saying, thinking of the Next Level Boys Academy, just seeing how many of us were perishing to mass incarceration, to the war on drugs, man, to the circumstances that plague our communities. Okay, but that was all thought of systemically by people who want things to stay the same. Dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the world is evolving past the colonialism and the traditionalism that founded America. The entire earth is evolving past that shit. So they like, well, how can we keep it from evolving so fast? What can we do to slow it down? Then, okay, crack. Then the crack epidemic, then the war on drugs, then, all this shit we seeing it just to try to stop the momentum of evolution.
Wow.
But throughout history, not just history of America, history of humanity, you have never seen any group of people from the Egyptians to the Romans to whomever. You never seen a group of people fight against evolution and win.
Wow.
This shit gonna change. You can't stop this shit from changing. You really just, prolonging the inevitable. But this shit gonna change. You know what I'm saying? You can't kill enough of us. You can't create enough pitfalls to stop evolution. The universe will have its way. That's why you don't even know why you came up with Next Level Boys Academy, but it was because the universe needed you.
Right.
And that's why I'm doing this shit. I don't know what the fuck I make good money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this shit. I just feel like, man, whatever we doing, bro, from the time we put on the earth to the time we leave, if we ain't did something that's gonna make the world a better place for our children and grandchildren to live in, then we wasted our time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We just wasted our time. I want to applaud both of y'all for, I guess, daring to be different. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of comfort in waking up every day and doing something that you know you good at. Whether that's selling dope, robbing people, scamming, gambling, you know what I mean? Whatever that is, you know you good at it. There's a certain confidence to come with that, which allows you to walk with your head high and just give you a different air. You move different because you know you doing something that you have confidence in your ability to be able to do, right? So to know you had that confidence here and then step into a world that's so unfamiliar to you and try to create more confidence in that world, that shit, that's what legends are made of. You dig what I'm saying? Because anybody could wake up and do the same thing. It's like, okay, execute, succeed, repeat. Like, there's only so many times you can do that.
Right.
In order to grow, in order to make it and reach your full potential, you find that outside your comfort zone. So what y'all doing right now is uncomfortable to you, but it's supposed to be. And then when it get comfortable to you, it's gonna be time to do something else. And that's just that's how life works, you know what I'm saying? That's how you get from, like, what if y'all was still crawling? You know what I mean? If you never got that transition from crawling to walking. You know what I'm saying? Grown ass man, you still crawling around like, man, what the fuck wrong with you, bro? You can't crawl forever. You know what I mean? Eventually, you gonna have to walk, bro. Period. So what you guys are doing, you know what I'm saying? I applaud and salute that, because I think, man, that's what it takes for more people in y'all position to come in contact with programs like what Mr. Gary had. Cause each one teach one.
Right.
You know what I mean? The best way to help a person in need is not to become one. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? So once y'all get yourself on y'all feet, once y'all develop the understanding and the awareness, then you can reach back and teach somebody else who was in the position that you was in.
Just like he said.
Absolutely.
You if you can change one black boy, you can change a whole. That means if you can change one, that you change a whole generation of black boys.
That's right.
You was listening to class yesterday, huh? Okay, I thought you was high, man. I said, but you stuck to your word. I'm like, man, you high. You said, dog, man, I ain't smoked since the last time I called you out of that shit, man. So, but no, man, I'm proud of you too, man. So it's good stuff. I'm glad you were. I thought you was asleep though.
That shit kick in when you least expect it, though. That shit just kick. That shit kick in when you least expect it,
right.
Man. So look, man, why aren't programs like yours like nationwide, like in other states? Like why, like, you know, what do we need to do to help this expand?
Man, starting here with you. I think that a lot of men, you know, it's not money in it, first of all, to a lot of brothers. You know, we got to make,
now, don't get me wrong, somebody making money.
Somebody
making money. Somebody making some money somewhere.
Right.
I ain't gonna cap you down now.
No,
it's some money somewhere.
I'm talking
about funding federally, then they kick it down to the state level, then they kick it down then they kick it down. It just ain't nothing by the time it make it to us.
I got it. Well,
but it's some money somewhere.
I got you. Facts. But I think, man, that's my goal, man, to be global. I just want every time you see a McDonald's, we need to see a Next Level Boys Academy, man. I was talking to some folks with on with my guy Killer Mike, man. We was talking to them, man. They said, what's your goal? Is every time we see one of your restaurants, I want to see a Next Level Boys Academy right next to it. So that's my ultimate goal, man, is just to let young men know you're not out here on the island, man.
Right.
And it's not really hard. I think what I've learned to run this organization, bro, if you put it in front of them and be consistent with it and create it and make it about them, where they ain't got to raise their hand to go to the bathroom, where they don't have to sit down and take notes. We ain't taking no notes in this shit, man. You came in there, man. This shit is innovative.
Right.
It's in your face, and it's real life and social skills, which drives their world.
Right.
So my thing, man, I just want to be global, man. I just want it to be all over the world, just to be a place where young men just feel safe, man. Not just young men in the justice system, but just any young man, dude, that's just growing up and just needs some answers, man. So that's my goal, going global.
Okay. So how do you keep the lights on? Where the money come from?
Killer Mike. Killer Mike and his partners, man. But that's a good question. I always get that question, Tilt, man. I just know, man, if we was to sit down.
For 11 years, you have to have a hell of an answer.
Man, just believing in people, man, that believe in the organization. Every now and then they cut a little check, man. We keep the lights on, keep the air on, and but corporations, some sponsorships, don't
no
have
grant money, ain't no federal,
no,
state
man.
grant money.
I think I've never received.
Why not? How could they not do this?
Well, part of that is me, because here's the deal, man. I think, and I had this conversation multiple times, man, is I believe that in order for us to get our young men to where we want them to be, we don't have to deal with the stipulations of the state and federal dollars. We can deal with partnerships. Yes, absolutely. And they've done it for 11 years. I've never received any state or federal money.
Okay.
I've always had people
in relation. That's what allows you to do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Without being encumbered.
Absolutely.
Their bureaucracy.
Yeah, because when you get that, man, there's stipulations to it. He can't do this. He can't do that. You can't be here. I mean, I have to get these young men exposed, man. So just think, if there's stipulations to this, they may say, okay, he's not allowed to come to Atlanta from Decatur. So now we missed out on a young man that needs to meet you.
Right.
So I refuse to go the route of state and federal dollars because I don't like the stipulation that comes with it, man. I believe our people could help this organization get it to where it wants to be under the conditions that we want it to run off of. And that's the way I've been operating for 11 years, man.
Eloquent. Okay. So how do we expand? Okay, so how do people get involved? So basically, the community needs to rally around this program, make sure it has the resources that it needs to become global and to expand to the level that we want it to be.
Absolutely. Right now, we're in, of course, Georgia, we're in Alabama, and we're in North Carolina. So now that court is virtual, I interview young men from the jail virtually, and I go to court virtually. So these young men, I have 6 young men in the program right now I've never met physically because I interviewed them over the phone, so they're on the class every Saturday. Most of the time, how you get in the diversion program, the lawyer will reach out. Say, hey, I got a Jamari on here. He's a good kid. He's got caught in a bad situation. Are you willing to accept him? I meet Jamari. We kick shit for about an hour and a half. I check his temperament. He check mine. I lie to him, see if he gonna lie back, see if he on that bullshit. Then we get a relationship, man. And then before they ever start class, man, they just basically rock with me.
Right.
And next thing you know, you're in a diversion program and you don't even know what it's called.
How can we make this shit like like some sort of a private school, or you know what I'm saying, like a school with a curriculum?
Man, it could be a university, man. I'm talking about from getting a young man from
Next level boys.
You felt that shit, did you?
Yeah.
Like we get this shit, man, from
that called a vision. You see what I'm saying?
Just imagine we tracked a young man's life from 5 to 23, man, from the time he go to kindergarten to he go to a trade school, not college, to a trade school, man. Just imagine if we did that, man.
Right.
We could change because with them, man, it's about perception, man. So I don't try to tweak anything, how they look, how they talk, how they walk.
Right.
That's you be unique, but just say some shit we understand you.
That's right. I mean, that's what separates us from the savage beast. You know, our ability to reason and articulate our thoughts. That's really what makes humans the head of the food chain.
Right.
For real, because we're not the strongest motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? If a gorilla knew his ABCs, your ass would be in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, no bullshit.
Right.
So we just have, I think, but a lot of times emotions keep people from articulating.
Right.
Emotion keep people from communicating. Whether it's out of fear of how they're gonna be received, of being rejected, whether it's fear of, or an inability to find the words for the thoughts that you have in your head. Either way, but we have to continue to communicate. We have to continue to articulate how we feel, because if not, we no different from the savage beast.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes experience and repetition, because the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The more you step out there and say, hey, look, see, I ain't really like that, and I'm gonna tell you why. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just responding, nigga, what the fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you nah, bro, I ain't rocking with that, and here go why. The ability to do that is gonna separate you and take you a lot farther from somebody who done knocked everybody out in the neighborhood. Like, when we grow up, we think about, it's all bravado, it's all physical strength. Like, the discernment of when not to knock a motherfucker out is more powerful than the actual strength that it takes to knock a motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't take 6 pounds of pressure right here, you know what I'm saying, put a motherfucker to sleep. So I think that's what we have to, from a very young age. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talk through how you feeling. What you got your fist balled up and pacing, huffing and puffing for? What's up? What's wrong? You want to hurt something? Why? Somebody hurt you? What happened? You know what I mean?
Right.
Once you get into that, and a motherfucker be like, I don't know. It is silly, isn't it? It
Right.
is silly. I'm huffing and puffing with and let me have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Once we can get them to that, it's always, the problem ain't the problem. The lack of a solution is the problem.
Facts. That's what I was about to say, man. You give these boys an opportunity, man, and a vision. See, because the goal is for most of them, man, is to kill all that around 3rd, 4th grade. Mm-hmm. Take the lack of education, just take that interest away, create the tough dynamics at home, and just make your life chaotic. Because when I know for a fact, just looking at you, prime example, I read your history. Give a young man of color an opportunity, man, they'll take the world over, man. And I think that is what they're lacking. That's what we're doing in the Next Level Boys Academy. Hey, man, here's an opportunity. Right. Because remember, we funding everything they want to do.
Right.
We got businesses we got started, man. We making sure cell phones on, whatever they need, man.
Right.
They got it. That's why they can't even make an excuse to why they want to fuck up. Right? They just hit me up, man, what you need. We got it. From a business to, we buying everything but weed and pussy.
Well, you don't know what they buying. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm talking about when you hit me up, man. I'm not buying that, man. But whatever you need, man, we getting phones, we getting, we pay some power bills, man. We done gave half on some rent.
Right.
Yeah, we doing it, man.
It's gonna be your turn to pay somebody's phone bill one day.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So how can people get involved with the Next Level Boys?
Hey, man, just go.
If it's a billionaire watching right now, say, man, I want to go ahead and give them $100 million to get started on the next phase of their operation.
First thing I'll do is hit you up, man. See if you got any gas in your jet. We're gonna find out where you at. That's the first thing I'll do, man. Tell where you at, man. I got you gotta see one thing I know, you got a billionaire, so you can't ask a billionaire for no money, man.
You can't ask a billionaire for a little bit.
A little bit of money.
You gotta get you out their face.
You gotta present a vision to a billionaire.
That's real.
And so you go to a billionaire, man, and say, hey, man, here's what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. Starting in every neighboring state to Georgia, we wanna set up a chapter of Next Level Boys Academy.
Okay.
And we just need you to fund it for the first 5 years. What funding looks like, that's what it looks like. So we start with that, and he's gonna pull out. Because I think most billionaires would give you, billionaires fund visions. They don't fund people or stuff like that.
Right.
T.I. is not going to fund, Gary Davis. He might fund Next Level Boys Academy.
That's not quite true about me.
Well, then I'm glad to hear that.
I invest in people. I invest in people
Okay.
because I feel like, for instance, right? Let's just say if you're an inventor.
Okay.
And you come to me with the invention of, let's say it's a self-brewing teacup.
Okay.
Right? And so that's what, and you sit me down and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if there's a market necessarily for this invention, but he got to be a motherfucker to come up with this. So it's something in there between now to the time he died that I'm going to want to be a part of.
Right.
So usually I tap into that and, you know what I'm saying, I invest in people. I don't want to just, because if the teacup don't work and then the next idea does, I don't want to be excluded.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, I have a little more of a different, unorthodox approach.
That's what's up. Good to know that, man. Hey, but listen, I think one of the things, man, when I talk to this billionaire, man, we got to deal with this recidivism, man. So, and what happens is you got to understand 2 young men facing 10 to 15 years in prison, you do the calculation, man, just imagine the amount of money I just saved in the organization on your taxpayer dollars that you ain't got to fund this young man's bed and prison bed and all this other stuff, So recidivism, man, we try to cut back on that. We try to deal with that and, you know, just get the meeting up with a billionaire, man. And
I mean, man, we going to find them. Just watch.
I believe it.
I think that what you're doing is commendable, and I think that it's not enough light being shined on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough awareness. It's so much being said about, you know, black on black crime, which is a myth, by the way. I want everybody to know that.
I preach that every Saturday.
There's no such thing as black on black crime. People kill who they live around. People commit crimes around who live around them, period. You never heard any statistic on white crime. You know what I'm saying? They walk in crowded areas and shoot everybody, including white people, but it doesn't show up as white on white crime. When they in a act of passion kill their wife, or like Tokars, you know what I'm saying? When Tokar killed, they weren't talking about how much white on white crime. So it's a false narrative that it really just allows, dare I say, Republicans. Well, no, let's not make it political. It allows hateful, racist white people to continue to perpetuate mass incarceration, get free labor. That's really what it's about. So America was built on slavery. So when they had to abolish slavery, they got to figure out how to get back to the roots or the basis of what made this economic superpower, and that was free labor. So how do we get back to free labor? Well, the 13th Amendment says that you are free unless in prison. Let's just continue to create ways and find loopholes and little petty shit to lock motherfuckers up so we can get free labor. That's what the shit is about.
Wow.
So anything that could justify for police to go out there and accost and intimidate and harass young black men and brown men, and get them to get locked up, get on charges, so I can get them in this prison and get me some free labor. That's what they think keeps America going. When they really don't know now, it's our ideas. It's our ideas. It's the things that we do. We wake up and create shit out of nothing. I know that. Let's say the old white men who came up with the laws, let's say back in the early 1900s. They did not account for, like, you know, when they came up with the projects, welfare, food stamps, Section 8, like all that shit, like that was actually like a strategy. You know what I'm saying? To keep all black people in one area of town with less opportunities. We want to kill their ambition by not having them, giving them a place to live for free, and giving the women a check every month, which make them feel like they don't need the men, because you can't have the man in the house and get the check.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to be single. Put the man out. You know what I'm saying? And just you and your baby in this free apartment, getting a check every month and some food stamps. See that? Now you ain't got nothing to get up and have no ambition for. So you just sit down and collect your check. You done did that from the time your kid in kindergarten to the time he 18. Now you ain't getting no check no more because he 18. Right. The fuck you gonna do? All this shit was a strategy. This shit was planned. But those people who planned on this, those people who created this, they did not account for hip hop. Nobody thought that while we put these people in their place, they gonna come up with something that's gonna produce billions and billions of dollars and have an enormous amount of global influence. See what I'm saying? They couldn't account for that. Just like when they came up with the war on drugs, and you know, in the crack era, they didn't account for trap music. They didn't say, okay, well, we setting all these traps and doing this, but they gonna take these experiences and set it to music, and this shit is gonna take over the world. See, they just need to lead the thinking to the smart people. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't outthink the universe, bro. You know what I mean? It's shit going on just because that's the way the wind blowing. You know, ideas and shit, we like that shit is sporadic and spontaneous. I can't make you think what I want you to think. Whatever it is you've experienced throughout your life that led you to here versus what you see right now, that's what's gonna cause this thought that's in your head. Now, whether that thought is to do something positive and productive, or whether that thought is to do something destructive, that's gonna be, you know, that's under your control. But can't nobody control that thought for you. So can't nobody anticipate whether or not you gonna build something that will change the standard of living for you and your family for forever. But they can count on you probably gonna sell some dope. You know what I'm saying? And man, if we put him here, if he's born here and he doesn't have a father and he goes to these schools, by the time he's 17, he probably gonna sell some dope. You see what I'm saying? So they trying to go with all the shit they feel they can account for given your circumstances and your environment, but they're not aware of all the things that they can't account for. That's what Next Level Boys Academy is doing for you, allowing you the opportunity to have those thoughts, those visions, those epiphanies. I like it.
I like that one.
I like it. Epiphany.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's the word of the week, everybody. We have a tradition here, man, at Expeditiously, and that is, you know, introduce a word to the audience, and it would be a word that is indicative of the conversation or of the guest. And I think epiphany is just as good a word as any. Epiphany is a spontaneous thought that changes the direction of how you move. You know what I mean? A revelation, if you will. Let's see now. Let's see, I could use it in a sentence so people who listening to it can go out and pretend they knew the word their whole life. Let's see here. Jamiron was on a path of recidivism until he completed the Next Level Boys Academy and had an epiphany to do better. So
I run with it.
Yeah. So that's how we're gonna do that one. We're gonna wrap that one up like
We
this,
get a spelling.
We get a spelling. Let me see, epiphany. EPIPHANY. Epiphany.
I don't have to just go for it.
I mean,
I don't know how to
see, the good thing is, we in the information age. We can get right down
just go
to
for
it.
it.
We're going to get right down to it. Let me see, because I'm going to check, too, because I just did that off the fly. Epiphany, EPIPHANY. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, and I was right. EPIPHANY. Yeah, goddamn right. You know what I mean? But yeah, look, I want to thank you, first of all, for all the work that you're doing in the community,
Appreciate it, man.
And everything that you've been able to achieve, man, on behalf of the community and on behalf of young black and brown boys, man, for the last 11 years. Salute you, respect you, appreciate you. You already know I'm a phone call away. And you, young men, continue to fight the good fight, bro. You know what I mean? Just stand solid, you know, no matter how tough it get, no matter how dark it get, no matter how hard the wind blow. Every storm runs out of rain, period.
Never give up.
You dig what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
And thank y'all for coming here, man, sharing your stories with us. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Now, I just want to say appreciate the opportunity for allowing me to come up here, man, on this platform. And like, I keep up the show and all that, so I know it's major for me to
Let me ask you a question.
Here.
What books do you read?
What books do I read? Right now, I'm reading the autobiography of Malcolm X again.
Okay.
But I read, because I had to sit down, so I read plenty of books. But
Right.
I'm really
What
into
kind of books you like to read?
I was just gonna say I'm into like, I'm a big social study dude.
Uh-huh.
So I like a lot of dates and all that. So I'm really into a lot of geographical books, like a lot of travel books. I'm into James Patterson's.
Okay.
I'm into Key Wayne series. I don't know, a lot of people probably don't know about it. He's a black author.
Okay.
I read a lot of black literature, and yeah, man, I really came across a lot of different books. You know, just sitting during that time, you really ain't got no choice but to open up a book.
That's when I did the most of my reading.
Yeah. it's like a world outside the world.
My reading.
Like what books you like to read?
I read any type of book.
Like what interests you? Like if you go to a bookstore, like what the first section you go to?
The first section I will go to is probably like something based on a true story. So like,
okay.
So probably
like biographies and stuff like that. Okay, gotcha.
I like stuff that's based on true stories.
I got a book that I want y'all to read. It's called Ways of the Superior Man. You know what I'm saying? That's a book that my sister Lauren London actually suggested for me to read it, and she say, you know what I'm saying, Nipsey told it changed their life. You know, just find it.
Where you get the book from?
Do I know what it's called? The Way of the Superior Man.
I can.
I can. The author's name slips my mind, but it's fine. What about you? What about your book? We ain't even say shit about your book, man.
I wrote my first book, man.
How to Raise Him Without Him.
Raising Him Without Him. It's a map, man, to give these mothers a better understanding of their sons. Because I think it's a miscommunication, man.
Right.
You know, they get to a point in their life, because pretty much after a young man turns 11 and 12 years old, it becomes coaching, not parenting.
Right.
And these mothers just don't get it, man. So I just created a blueprint. Okay, everything is about 25 chapters in there, man. We talk about everything, whether he's having sex, he's smoking weed, why he don't like school. I think the gang got him. He wants his daddy. He wants to meet my man. It's a very, very detailed, quick read, man. Quick airplane ride from Atlanta to New York read.
Okay.
Sitting at the pool, man. So that's on my website, Next Level Boys Academy.
Okay.
On the Instagram, everything is Next Level Boys Academy.
Well, that's dope, man. We're going to find a way to spread it out, man. Make it global.
Appreciate it, man.
Attention, love, and respect.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Likewise, man. In a minute. So this has been Expeditiously. Watch your favorite episodes of Expeditiously right now on the Expeditiously YouTube page.